Good afternoon. Tom Whalen sitting in for Aaron Rand on this Tuesday afternoon on Montreal Now. And joining us, I have the great pleasure to introduce to you a man who is very well known here at the radio station, Dr. Joe Schwarcz. Now, Dr. Joe was inducted last night at our 80th anniversary celebration into CJAD's Wall of Fame. And Doctor, it was great to see you last night. You did some really interesting experiments as well that wowed the crowd. But I think what I enjoyed the most was you told some great stories, and some of them having to do with some of the questions you've had to answer over the years. So can you fill us in on that? What were some of the strangest, weirdest things you've had to take care of?
It was a memorable evening for sure last night. And, when one goes through life, there are very few such impactful events as last night. So I really did appreciate, the honor that was granted. I've been at this on the radio for 45 years, which is hard to believe, when I think of it. I don't know where the time has gone, but it has gone. I don't know where it went, but it has gone. And there's been some 2,000 shows over those years, and of course, many thousands of questions answered. And there are, some interesting ones. I mean, of course, there were, many mundane ones, like, how do you get blood stains out of fabrics, and you never want to ask why there's a blood stain in the fabric.
Really.
Or rust stains out of bathtubs. That was a very common one. But the ones that kind of stick in your mind are the unusual ones. There was one lady who called up, and she wanted to know if it was safe to burn a laminated picture. So I didn't really know what this was all about, So questioned her a little bit. And it turned out that there had been a divorce. And she didn't want any memento of the hubby around. And she had a laminated picture, and she wasn't quite sure what the lamination was. And whether or not it would be safe to throw this into the fireplace, or would it maybe release some toxic vapors, and that he would have the last laugh, and she was not willing to entertain that possibility. So we discussed this, and I said, look, I think you burn this, and it's just going to produce some carbon dioxide and maybe some oxides of nitrogen, and nothing really to worry about. And so she was happy about that, and she said that she would greatly enjoy the fire, sitting beside the fire when the hubby's laminated picture burned.
Yikes.
Then there was another lady who wanted to know whether she had to worry because she had forgotten her birth control pills in the trunk of her car on a hot day. Now, that's the kind of question that you don't have an immediate answer to, because it's not inconceivable that heat would start some of the ingredients in the birth control pill to decompose.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that it's probably better not to take a chance on that one, but that was really just an educated guess, because certainly back when that question was asked, which was several decades ago, there was no ChatGPT, to try to check that. So
right.
Just based on my guess, knowing what the ingredients are in birth control pill, and that it certainly is possible that their molecular structure could be altered by high temperatures. So
I would imagine you'd have to know what the compounds were in those tablets, and whether or not those compounds are affected by heat.
I mean, the fact that I teach organic chemistry, so I'm pretty familiar with estrogens and progestins, and I know what their likely behavior is. So it was kind of an educated guess, but, nevertheless, it was a guess. Then there was another one I remember. Lady wanted to know how kosher salt was made and what blessings were necessary in order to make it kosher. Which is a very interesting question.
Yeah, it is.
But the fact is that in this case, the kosher has nothing to do with any kind of blessing or any kind of procedure. It has to do with the fact that in observance of kashrut, meat has to be prepared in a certain way, and blood has to be drained out of the meat. And the way you do that is by coating the meat with salt, because salt will extract the moisture from the meat, including the blood. So kosher salt is just a kind of salt where the grains are very flat, so that you can cover a surface more easily, because the grains have a larger surface area. So you can coat the meat so that you can absorb the blood from it more easily. So that's the story of kosher salt. It has nothing to do with being blessed by a rabbi, or it doesn't have any religious connotation like that. It is just processed in such a way that it is very effective in removing the blood from meat.
Dr. Joe, every time I hear you or talk to you, I learn something new. And I think that's the whole idea. Right.
Tom, that's the idea.
Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, Dr. Joe. That's Dr. Joe Schwarcz from the McGill Office for Science and Society, and the newest member of CJAD 800's Wall of Fame. Joe, congratulations, really, and congratulations on your stellar career here at the radio station, and here's hoping for 45 more.
Well, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that very much.
Canadian women are looking for more out of themselves, their businesses, their elected leaders, and the world around them.
And that's why we're thrilled to introduce the Honest Talk podcast.
I'm Jennifer Stewart.
And I'm Catherine Clark. And in this podcast, we interview Canada's most inspiring women.
Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, politicians, and newsmakers, all at different stages of their journey.
So if you're looking to connect, then we hope you'll join us.
Listen to the Honest Talk podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts.